mother tongue.
Język ojczysty,
Deaf,
niesłyszący,
acquire,
przyswoić sobie,
lip read.
czytać z ruchów ust.
How do deaf people communicate?
Deaf people communicate by making signs with their hands.
How are deaf people able to understand spoken languages?
Deaf people are able to understand spoken languages by lip reading.
What are some of the difficulties a deaf person can face in life?
Some of the difficulties a deaf person can face in life are not hearing what people say and not hearing different sounds.
What language does a born deaf person acquire as their mother tongue?
A born deaf person acquires a sign language as their mother tongue.
In what language do born deaf people think?
Born deaf people will think in their sign language, and people who become deaf after they had acquired their mother tongue will think in that language.
Can you imagine what it's like to be completely deaf and not able to hear a single sound?
No, I can't imagine what it's like to be completely deaf and not able to hear a single sound.
At first,
In the beginning, na początku.
at last,
In the end, w końcu.
love at first sight.
Miłość od pierwszego wejrzenia.
What does at first mean?
At first means in the beginning.
What's the opposite of at first?
The opposite of at first is at last.
What should you do if you don't succeed at first when doing something important?
If I don't succeed at first when doing something important, I should try again and again.
Do you think you will succeed at last if you do something again and again?
Yes, I think I'll succeed at last if I do something again and again.
Why do some people believe in love at first sight?
I think some people believe in love at first sight because they've fallen in love at first sight themselves.
Pronunciation. Practice the following groups of words: bed, bird, lent, learnt, pot, port, cot, caught, bod, bought, board, John, Jordan.
Advance,
Zrobić postępy.
advanced,
Zaawansowany.
career.
Kariera.
Has medicine advanced in the last 100 years?
Yes, medicine has advanced in the last 100 years.
Is a Ford which is produced now more advanced than a Ford produced 30 years ago?
Yes, a Ford which is produced now is more advanced than a Ford produced 30 years ago.
What do you have to work hard on in order to advance your English?
I have to work hard on my pronunciation in order to advance my English.
How can you advance your career?
You can advance your career by changing your job or studying.
What's the most common career young people choose in this country?
The most common career young people choose in this country is a career in banking,
Why?
because they can earn enough money for a living.
Stage,
Poziom, na przykład rozwoju, zaawansowania.
sex.
Płeć.
Why do some people believe that boys and girls shouldn't go to school together?
Some people believe that boys and girls shouldn't go to school together because they're at different stages of development.
What's a different term for mixed-sex education?
Co-education is a different term for mixed-sex education.
What should you do at the early stage of an illness?
You should take medicine at the early stage of an illness,
Why?
so that the illness doesn't develop.